What does the culture really need to understand about this topic in a coconut shell? Like men, women, boys, girls.
I think the biggest thing that I would want people to understand about this issue is that it affects far more than we realize. Circumcision in the mainstream culture is usually framed as a one time decision that parents make and never have to think about again. And in reality, it is more like throwing a stone in a pond. It's a decision that ripples out through a man's life, through his relationships, his sexuality, his relationship to his own body and self image, his partners, institutions like medicine and media, and even law and policy. All are affected by this issue, and all in the most personal way possible. So, this is not an issue that exists out in the world. It is not something like you would read about in the news. It is something that affects families and family relationships on the most personal level and the most personal aspects of someone's life. And I think when you frame it that way, it is not so fringe as people might think. It is actually one of the most important issues, maybe the most important issue in our culture right now.
And yeah, it's funny. It's not that funny. It's not even a good way to put it. It's interesting and crazy and borderline disturbing that where my wife is from, for instance, in Denmark, it would be very abnormal to see a circumcised man. I think I'm the first circumcised male she's ever seen. And so the whole thing is confusing to her. What do you think that's about? Why the United States has it been? What is the statistic on that currently, or where have they been? Do you
Yeah.
know how that's teeter-tottered over time?
So most of the world does not practice circumcision. The Jewish world and the Islamic world do, and certain African tribal societies, and there's like scattered amounts of it in other places in the world. But America is the only industrialized country that routinely practices non-religious infant circumcision. And there is a lot of reasons that you could say that that continues. But I think one of the biggest ones is that it's just really difficult for people to talk about.